You're watching ABC7 News at 5:30.
Welcome back. It was a nice dry day here in the Sun Coast, giving us some relief from the rain, but more rain is headed our way.
That's right. Let's head over to Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with when we can expect those storms to come in.
They're in right now. In fact, storms moving through parts of Osprey, Siesta Key, and on Longboat Key right now. Not quite there in Venice and Inglewood, but that area of low pressure will stay out here. You can see it kind of spinning around with this visible satellite imagery. Not a lot of convection out here in the Gulf, and that's due to the drier air, but that's starting to moisten up now throughout the day. That dry air was just right over the top of us, and that's really limited any coastal action. Big storms inland today firing up as a result of the daytime heating, where temperatures got up to near 90 degrees. Those pushing off to the northeast, but look at this. This is just filled in over the last 2 hours in the Gulf, and it's making its way onshore already on into Siesta Key. You can see right there at Osprey up to US 41, Palmer Ranch, Siesta Key getting the rainfall, downtown Sarasota, even into Lido. All this pushing to the northeast rapidly at 30 miles an hour. And although Lakewood Ranch, you don't have anything yet, this is heading in your direction. It'll be there in the next 20 to 30 minutes. Not much behind it, but look at this down south of Osprey and Venice and into Inglewood. Some pretty heavy weather there. Down to street level we go. You can see the south end of Siesta really getting some heavy rainfall now. Bee Ridge Road also. Out to Lake Sarasota, not much there right now, but this moderate to heavy rainfall is headed in your direction. It's torrential downpours too. This is the area I showed you right here. This is going to move off to the north, northeast, maybe a little bit more north than this particular region is showing right now, but Venice should be there around 542 as far as the heavy rain goes. You may see some light rain before that. There's been a lot of lightning strikes with this cell in particular. I took the lightning off right here just to show you the general motion is off to the north-northeast at 15. It is weakening somewhat there. It's going to catch Anna Maria, bring some moderate to heavy rainfall there. Just for a short period of time, they're moving so fast, the heavy rain's not going to be around all that long. And this system only has a 20% chance to develop over the next, actually a 10% in the next 3 days, 20% over the next several days. Well, much more on the forecast coming up in a little bit. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Businesses across the Sun Coast rely on snowbirds and tourists to keep our area growing and thriving, but a new retirement trend could drastically hurt the economy.
It's called the halfback phenomenon, where retirees from up north move here to Florida and then decide to move halfway back up north. According to the Wall Street Journal, census data shows that from 2010 to 2017, a migration to Appalachian states increased 169%. That's the same percentage of growth for retirement destinations in Florida. ABC7's Christopher Brantley joining us now live from Venice. Christopher, are we seeing that trend right here on the Sun Coast?
Well, it's not really a widespread issue here on the Sun Coast right now. There is, however, one factor besides taxes that could drive some retirees from living here. For those moving from up north, the lower taxes might be a welcome relief.
When I would tell them taxes were $4,000, $5,000, the question, is that a month? So when I would say a year, they'd kind of laugh at me like, really?
Kathy Lehner, president and CEO of the Venice Area Chamber of Commerce, says while taxes might not be very low here, it's still cheaper to live here than on the east coast of Florida.
Sarasota County, we have our own little gem here.
So what could drive some to move away?
If people are doing it, in my mind, the reasons I see is not because of taxes.
Local realtor Dan Heschmeyer says it could be the weather.
A couple people, especially after Irma, said they've kind of had it with the preparation for hurricanes or having to redo their whole house or evacuating because of that.
The summer heat and hurricanes could take away from the beaches, golf courses, and fine dining.
The people we call the halfbacks, the people who have come to Florida and then decide to leave and go to not all the way back to where they came from.
Some are moving to places more in the middle of the country, but when we asked Elena if the weather is a reason some are leaving, she said it's all relative.
Compare a hurricane to a nor'eastern. Look at what they have going through now. How is that different to what we have? Our heat in the summer, guess what? We have air conditioning. They have cold in the winter, but they have heat.
It's really hard to say how many people may get here and decide this just isn't for them. However, if the last tourist season is any indication, not that many people are afraid to be here. Live in Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Okay, Christopher, thank you. While some snowbirds may be heading north, a fertilizer company in Minnesota plans to bring more people and jobs to the Sunshine State. Mosaic is relocating its corporate headquarters from the Twin Cities suburb of Plymouth to Hillsborough County. Mosaic is making the move to be closer to its phosphate mines and also save money. The Fortune 500 company processes minerals into crop fertilizer. Mosaic has not said yet how many employees will be affected or when it will make that move.
It's a trend going upward. High school graduates seeking technical certifications for middle-skilled jobs. While a shortage of workers is pushing wages higher in those skilled trades, the financial return from a bachelor's degree is softening. The lack of trained workers also creating a skills gap in industries. The senior program director at Career Edge, a workforce development organization, says they're taking the necessary steps now to close these gaps.
We work closely with employers and we're looking at how can we help them fill those skills gaps. So that's a shortage of plumbers, electricians, mechanics, machinists, and so forth. And there's also a shortage of accountants and financial planners and insurance and engineers.
The rest of this story coming up at 7 o'clock tonight.
Well, it's full steam ahead for the Sarasota County School District's new police force. With the search already on for a police chief tonight, the school board approving opening up 24 more positions, this time for officers. ABC7's Jess Dowdrick joins us live at the landings right now where that school board meeting is underway. Jess.
Good evening, Jacqueline and Scott. The school board actually just voted on this issue with a vote of 3-2. The school police force is full steam ahead. Sarasota School District is looking now for about 25 officers to patrol district elementary schools through the 2018-2019 school year. Officers must be 21 years old, have his or her Florida Department of Law Enforcement certification, and have worked in law enforcement for at least 2 years. Superintendent Dr. Bowden says the district has already received several inquiries about the chief position that was posted just a few weeks ago. Not necessarily any applications just yet. The district has 3 months to get this department up and running.
I really think that the timeline is very aggressive. Just make sure these positions are so important. I mean, we're putting armed personnel in contact with our students. Just make sure that we've dotted all of our I's and crossed all of our T's to make sure that we never compromise quality for quantity or for expediency. Just make sure that we're very deliberate.
There are 2 school board members that are concerned about this police force, Chair Bridget Ziegler and board member Eric Robinson. They both voted against it today. They're worried about that timeline. Now, if the force does not get up and running by August 13th, the district security team says that they plan on using SROs temporarily until they can hire all of these officers. Now, for the 2018-2019 school year, these officers will just be in elementary schools. The transition to middle and high schools will come the following year. Live in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Jess, thank you. A Highlands County Sheriff's deputy who was killed while responding to a dispute over a cat was laid to rest today in Sebring. Hundreds of deputies and officers from around the state and the country were on hand to remember Deputy William Gentry. The 40-year-old joined the force back in 2005. He responded to a dispute between neighbors over a cat that had been shot on May 6th. Investigators say Gentry was shot when he approached the front door of a 69-year-old man who is now accused of shooting the deputy in the head. Gentry died the following day. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office hosting its 33rd annual Law Enforcement Memorial Service this morning. The event honors fallen officers like Gentry who have kept their communities safe. Deputies say they know events like this are important not only to them, but to the people they serve as well.
I think the most important thing is that we're people too. We're husbands, we're fathers, we're grandparents. We're people just like them. We've just chose to do this job and to protect our community. We take it seriously, and we appreciate their support very much.
The National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund says 128 officers died in the line of duty across the United States in 2017 alone.
A ministry group on the Suncoast that hands out meals to families in need is now asking for a helping hand themselves. The executive director for a nonprofit group called Downtown Ministries says that they have been helping the homeless in the Bradenton area for the past 5 years. For the past 16 months, the group has been serving breakfast to around 200 people every day at Central Christian Church on 15th Street West. But that will end this Sunday. The church recently sold the building, and the new owners are no longer allowing the group to serve meals there.
They come here, they get encouraged, they get a high five, a smile, a hug. They come in and just kind of relax, just decompress, start their day on a positive foot, And yes, then they get breakfast and clothing and things like that as well. But I think it's much more than that. We have a strong relationship with them, and it's something that they really look forward to each and every day.
Downtown Ministries also has a clothing closet that provides people with clothes for court appearances, job interviews, and more. The group is now trying to raise enough money to buy a building in the Bradenton area so that they can continue their services. A renovation project is forcing a popular summer camp to change locations. While the Sailor Circus Arena on Bay Vista Street is under construction, the Circus Summer Camp will take place right next door on the Sarasota High School campus. From June through August, the Circus Arts Conservatory will hold its summer camp inside the school gym. Kids ages 6 to 15 can take part in 1 week or 2 week sessions. It goes from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. each day.
Coming up, why a new study shows climate change is not good for children.
And American Airlines' new policy that will affect passengers traveling with animals. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now, during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to a premium finish. Schedule your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or go to californiaclosets.com.
Want to know a secret? If you're looking for the best selection of area rugs at an unbelievable price, the only place you need to look is Rugs is Art. I know what you're thinking. Expensive, right? Wrong. Rugs is Art has the largest selection of area rugs on the west coast of Florida in a variety of styles, with 8x11 area rugs starting at $199. Largest selection, personalized service, and unbelievably low prices. You'll find it all at Rugs is Art.
Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Get to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota for big savings on new Ram trucks. The Ram 1500 has been named a Consumer Guide Best Buy for 6 years in a row. And right now, get the all-new redesigned 2018 Ram Quad Cab for as little as $23,999. Or save big and get up to $12,400 off a new Ram Bighorn Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity. One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now, during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to a premium finish. Schedule your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or go to californiaclosets.com.
You're looking live at the scene of a scaffolding collapse in Sarasota County. It happened at the Mercedes-Benz dealership on Clark Road around 4:45 this afternoon. The spokesperson for Sarasota County Fire tells us 2 men fell about 30 feet, but both were seriously injured and were taken to Sarasota Memorial Hospital. We will continue to bring you more information as it comes into our newsroom. Well, climate change is happening and it isn't good for our health. The impacts of climate change have been well documented, but Kim Hutcherson shows us a new study warning that children are largely impacted.
Extreme weather, heat waves, and infectious pathogens can affect anyone, but new research says children will bear 88% of the burden of disease related to climate change. That's according to a paper analyzing multiple studies on how rising temperatures impact children's health. Some studies suggest climate instability makes it more suitable for the transmission of mosquito-borne diseases like the Zika virus and malaria. Climbing temperatures have also been tied to a rise of waterborne bacterial infections. These infections can lead to diarrhea, a common cause of malnutrition and dehydration in developing countries. Experts also warn that high seasonal temperatures may damage crops. That can weaken the supply of food and lead to malnutrition. And while scientists say climate change is already affecting our health, more research is needed to prepare for the deadly risks. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Well, they're here. Showers and storms making their way onshore now, bringing some moderate to heavy rainfall, even an occasional lightning strike here. And you can see that very ominous looking sky in Casey Key and continuing to show the surf up too with those high waves there, creating some whitecaps. You can see that line of storms stretching all the way out into the Gulf of Mexico for over 100 miles, pushing onshore right now, pinwheeling around this area of low pressure, which is a weak area of low pressure. It's not a lot to it, but just enough lift and instability in the atmosphere in the daytime heating to create this line of showers. Rather intense rainfall earlier into Siesta Key, also just near Tacoma. Still raining there near Osprey as well as Sarasota, heading off toward Lakewood Ranch. And then inland storms are starting to encroach this line too. So you could see an explosion of storms here, especially east of I-75 within the next hour or so. Siesta Key, still some heavy rain, still occasional lightning strikes too. So most everyone's off the beach now, I would hope, and that will continue to be a problem there for at least the next half hour. Rainfall rates were rather impressive too, up to 1.5 inches in some locations. Down to street level we go. Gulfgate Estates getting some rain. Beneva Road near Sunnyland. Also Ridgewood Heights, although it's lessening there somewhat. Still a lightning strike just within the last 3 minutes there. South Sarasota along US 41. Tough driving conditions now near the Gulfgate area. And then you stretch that up all the way into just to the east of Bayshore Gardens near Oneiko. This is the forecast for this to move off to the northeast. Rye Road, right around 6 o'clock. The heavy rain should be in your neck of the woods. Also Lorraine at 5:51. And looks like heavy rainfall now near the Meadows, stretching all the way down to near UTC. And get a look at this. This is now projected to move on a little faster now. A few lightning strikes there. So although Venice, you haven't had a lot of rainfall. Inglewood, you had your fair share yesterday at times. You're going to get more rain coming in here just in the next half hour or so. As they're moving pretty quickly off to the northeast, you can see the heaviest weather by far southwest of Venice and Northport and Inglewood, pushing off to the northeast. So we had dry air wrapping around the system today that really shut things down, but there's enough heating of the day to change that over now to some thunderstorms in the atmosphere. We're going to see that continue tomorrow, on again and off again, possibility of some strong cells, and most of the time it will be dry, but then showers will develop and some of those will produce some locally heavy rainfall. Pressures really haven't been falling all that much with this area of low pressure, and the futurecast is showing basically this low spinning to the north of us. You can see it just off the panhandle of Florida, but that southwest flow will pump moisture, and just enough heating of the day each and every day will keep us with a pretty good chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms. Overall, I would say rainfall totals anywhere from 2 to 4 inches before it's all said and done across a large swath of the west coast of Florida. Those winds staying out of the south and southwest as well. With that onshore flow, you get a lot more moisture in place and a good chance for storms. 83 degrees right now. It's nice out there with that breeze, although the showers have moved in, starting to cool things off. This was from early out on Siesta Key, and was pretty nice. You can see those storms developing offshore just about 2 hours ago. 85 degrees the high. That was 1 degree below average, and this morning's low was summer-like at 71. So for boaters tomorrow, scattered storms again. Outside of that, we'll see south winds at 10 to 15 knots. Seas running right around 2 to 3 feet with a moderate chop out there. The extended forecast calling for elevated chances for showers and storms. This is typically our very dry period before we get into the mid-June when we get our afternoon and evening storms. So this is a benefit that we are going to see some storms around. We had a high fire danger all last couple of weeks now, but that's going to change a little bit with periods of showers and a few thunderstorms with some heavy rainfall over the upcoming 7 days. Back to you.
Okay, Bob, thanks. Time now to check your first alert traffic for the drive home. Some backups on US 301 in Bradenton tonight as you head north towards State Road 70. The southbound lanes are looking clear at this hour. American Airlines is no longer recognizing some emotional support animals. The airline says insects, goats, and hedgehogs are just some of the animals that cannot travel anymore. If you want to bring a support animal on board, American says you now have to file paperwork 48 hours before a flight. Even with the paperwork, some animals are off limits entirely because they pose a safety or public health risk. The airline's revised rules go into effect on July 1st.
Delta might be getting ready to start flying back to India. The head of the airline says a deal between the U.S. and 2 Persian Gulf states opens the door for American carriers to start scheduling more flights to places like India and Africa. American lawmakers had complained that airlines from Persian Gulf countries got subsidies, which basically froze out U.S. airlines. IKEA is rolling out a new credit card. The IKEA Visa card includes rewards and perks, including no fees or deferred interest, free standard shipping and delivery for in-store purchases. IKEA is also offering 5% back on items you buy and 3% back when you use the card at restaurants, grocery stores, and for utilities. The credit card also comes with a single interest rate of 21.99% for everyone.
A consulting firm released the average starting salary for the class of 2018. Graduates with a bachelor's degree can expect to earn an average of just over $50,000 annually in their first jobs. But it should be easier to find a job than in previous years, as the unemployment rate recently dropped below 4% for the first time since 2000. Big congrats to all those grads who recently graduated over the weekend.
They're graduated, now find that job and then earn that money. Definitely. Fun times. Entertainment news next.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now, during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to a premium finish. Schedule your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or go to californiaclosets.com.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score.
It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach.
Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free.
You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
According to Golf Digest, 2 of the nation's top golf resorts are on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, the Auburn Opelika Marriott at Grand National, and the Renaissance Ross Bridge Golf Resort and Spa in Birmingham. Plus, the Marriott at Grand National was recognized as Hotel of the Year by Marriott International. Experience luxury and world-class golf Southern style. Visit rtjgolf/resorts or call 800-949-4444 to book your trip to the trail.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think it up.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Here's today's Job of the Day. ABC7 is seeking a part-time video news editor with a non-linear video editing and digital video background. Visit mysuncoast.com/job of the day to apply.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now, during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to a premium finish. Schedule your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or go to californiaclosets.com.
The royal wedding now just a few days away, and every detail takes enormous planning, as you might imagine, including the food. Will royal tradition meet California cool? What does that look like?
Does future Princess Meghan Markle plan to shake up the traditional wedding feast on her and Harry's special day? Molly Hunter investigates which delicacies will likely remain on the royal menu and which new trends may be introduced.
What happens when a self-proclaimed California foodie marries into the British royal family? Well, for one thing, the wedding menu has got to be good.
The TIG is a lifestyle site that I launched last year.
Before she was engaged to Prince Harry, Meghan Markle ran a little lifestyle blog on the side called The TIG.
The name The TIG comes from a wine called Tignanello.
Perhaps a hint about the wine to be served at the wedding. Meghan's website is now defunct, but she blogged a lot about delicious, mouth-watering, healthy food. And we expect to see some of that on Saturday.
The Queen will have had a big say in the menus, and those menus will include traditional ingredients, but it will also see some of the more modern elements that we know Harry and Meghan like. Meghan is a big foodie, so it will be a real kind of blend of all of the different flavours.
I think it would be a really nice spring salad to start. They could actually go with a venison, because in Windsor, Great Park, there are a lot of deer, and I think you can get local venison from there. And then dessert-wise, again, probably something chocolatey or delicious lemon tart or something like that.
So far, the only confirmed menu item, a departure from royal tradition according to the palace, is the wedding cake from California pastry chef Claire Tack.
They're departing from the traditional fruitcake and they're going for a lemon and elderflower cake.
Former royal chef Darren McGrady tweeted out the menu of Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip's wedding in 1947. For a country still rationing at the time, the menu was luxurious, starting with filet de sole Mountbatten and finished off with a bombe glacée Princess Elizabeth. No doubt the future British princess will shake up tradition, one slice of lemon elderflower cake at a time. Molly Hunter, ABC News, London.
And you can watch the royal wedding live right here on ABC7 in a 5-hour special edition of Good Morning America this Saturday. Coverage of the royal wedding, a modern fairy tale, will start at 5 o'clock that morning and run until 10.
I'm going to get up at 5 o'clock and watch.
I actually know a lot of people that are holding watch parties for this event, yes.
Wow.
So we'll see. It should be some good ratings and a great wedding.
Awesome. We'll be right back with more news.